And welcome back to another Cardinals franchise episode today, where we're starting off with a bang. Some trades need to be done. We're two players over the limit after signing a few of the free agents at the end of last episode, because we need to make some changes. Starting the season off 1-2, not very good. We've had some close games, but we've lost those close games most of the time has been due to turnovers, and the turnovers are from forced passes due to rush coming in. So we signed a new offensive lineman to hopefully help us secure a bit more of the pass blocking, because that has been a bit iffy, as well as just trying to get the roster to a better spot that fits the scheme we're trying to run. So one of those will be James Conner. We did sign Raheem Mostert at the end of last episode, so basically, we have a lot of power running backs on the roster, and that doesn't make sense for an air raid offense. So, making some changes. Connor is one of the players we are looking to trade, but the first one is J.J. Watt. Great player, but for us, struggling to stay on the field, and when he is on the field, we haven't seen him really make any impactful plays. So, at the end of last episode, we looked through the trade offers here, so that way you guys could give me your opinion on what you thought, and we narrowed it down to 4 teams. Green Bay offering 2 guys, Eric Stokes and Bryce Huff, I believe is his first name. Stokes, great young corner. We need corner help. And they're offering Huff, who they have listed at right end. He is more of an outside linebacker, at least in our scheme. Doesn't have a lot of strength, I want to say in the lower 70s. And no block shedding whatsoever. He's strictly, I believe, a finesse rusher. So while we could use help at outside linebacker, I don't believe having 2 players come in to replace one would be helpful for us. Wow. Considering we're already 2 players over our roster limit, making it 3 doesn't make sense. These are some good young players that the Packers are offering. I just don't think it would make sense trading both of them for 1 player. And the second option was the New York Giants, who are offering Adoree Jackson and a 2024, so not the next draft, but the draft after, second round pick. And this, to me, makes more sense than the Packers pick, with them offering a player swap plus a pick. Now, J.J. Watt is only 5 overall higher and is already 33 years old, so I don't want to have a team give me too much. I feel like this offer from the Giants is close. Probably would be more of a 3rd or 4th round future pick, but a solid option, and they're definitely in the realm of possibility. One of the other ones that I just don't think will work, although it's very intriguing, again, don't think it would be very realistic, is from the Kansas City Chiefs, offering a future 1. It is a later round 1 pick, and most of the time they do end up in the playoffs, a lot of the times in the Super Bowl, so close to more of a 2nd round pick. And then they also offered an interior linebacker in Bolton. We don't need middle linebacker help at the moment. We have 2 solid young guys that I want to build around. So while the 1st round pick is intriguing, I don't think it beats the Giants. And the last offer that we really liked and would be fantastic, but I do not think it's anywhere reasonable, is Newsome and Sweat plus a current 7th round pick from the Browns. The 7th round pick, yeah, fine, good with that. But Newsome and Sweat, they do have a lot of defensive linemen, so it makes sense for them to offer up Sweat. But to get another defensive lineman doesn't really make a lot of sense there. Plus, Newsome is, I think, their number 1 or number 2 corner, and he's only 22 years old, if I remember correctly, so doesn't make a lot of sense. So really, it all kind of comes down to the Giants, and I think that is the best possible pick here for us. We get corner help. We need corner help. The Cardinals, in real life, traded for a corner before the season started, so makes a lot of sense. Plus, we get a 2nd round pick. It should be a higher 2nd round pick, close to a round 1, with the Giants typically not playing all too well. So I think this is a good offer, maybe a little bit too good, but I think it's the best one for us that fits within that realm of possibility. So J.J. Watt will be headed to the New York Giants. Adoree Jackson will be coming in. Now, while that trade helps us with an area of need with corner and getting rid of a aging player, unfortunately with J.J. Watt, it does still leave us 2 guys over roster limit. So James Conner needs to go to a new team, and I think the best option after looking through every team would be with the Falcons. They have Cordero Patterson, and they're in a similar boat to us that they are looking primarily for receiving back, but they don't have any power really on this roster, and James Conner being an 81 overall would really be a great complementary kind of guy really for Cordero Patterson, kind of like Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram were. He had the speed, the catch ability, and then Ingram ground and pound. So with Patterson, he has good speed, agility. He could catch the ball. 81, obviously he was a receiver in college and with the Vikings for a bit, but he has really no strength, no trucking ability. I think this would be the best place for Conner to go. And since they're not extremely interested in him, they only have that yellow flag next to his icon rather than the green. I think we could try to use this to help balance what we were able to get from the J.J. Watt trade. So I'm going to say give us a current 4th and a future late round pick, like a future 6. Conner, I think, would be better than this, but because they don't have that high of a desire for him, plus balancing out that J.J. Watt trade, I think this would make sense. We'll see if they agree. And they do. Conner heads over to the Falcons, and we bring in 2 picks, 1 current, 1 future. And we're going to throw in a 3rd trade as well with Marcus Golden. For us, he's been okay, but he does not have any interest in re-signing with us, and it is a contract year. He's 31 years old and a power rusher with a 78 overall power rusher. With the negative morale and stuff happening with the team right now with the form of play, he's down to a 78, but moving him over to a new squad could very much help him. And I believe the best squad for him, again with only a medium interest, is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they need an outside linebacker, and their defensive line linebackers needs help in general. They do have a rookie in George Karlaftis, but he is primarily one of their best D linemen. They do have Nadi, who is slightly higher, but not a whole lot. And then their outside linebackers, they have Jermaine Carter Jr., who's a 71, and then John Bostic, another 31-year-old who's 73, plus Willie Gay at 70. They should probably be playing him over Bostic just so he could get that dev boost. I guess dev boost works there. But they do need some more help. So I feel like this would be a solid move. I'm not going to ask for a lot. Some more mid-round picks. And they do have an extra 4th. So we'll be cheeky. See if they'll go with the higher 4th round pick. But not asking for a lot. And they will make that trade with us. Now that does get us down to the 53 guys that we have to have, but I think there's still a couple more house cleaning things that we need to do. In the last episode, we did sign Dwayne Brown off of free agency, and he will start for us at left tackle. Now, that leaves Humphries as either a backup for us or maybe someone we can move around. He's 74 overall with some morale affecting him. So can we find a spot that we feel like he might fit better? Will Hernandez is someone who will be leaving us after this season, so possibly move him over to right guard. Kevin Beachum Jr., a 72 overall, again with that negative hit. So let's see which one of these players lacks the pass blocking skills that we need as an air raid offense. So with Kevin Beachum Jr., we're looking at about mid to upper 70s in terms of pass block ratings. As for Will Hernandez, a bit lower, with his highest being a 75 with pass block power. Pass block finesse is a 69. He has better strength, but I feel like we might need to slide over our backup right or left tackle over to right guard. We'll see how well he fits there. So with Humphries, we have an upgrade in terms of pass blocking here. Run blocking isn't too bad either. With some good lead block and impact block, I think it would make sense to slide him on over to that right guard spot. He would be better for us than Hernandez, and we might even end up releasing Hernandez to bring in another outside linebacker. And plus, with moving DJ Humphries over to right guard, he actually goes up to a 76, so possibly he's just removing that negative effect of the morale, but 5 overall higher than Will Hernandez. We might end up releasing him a bit earlier than expected. But before we do that, let's see if we could find any other outside linebackers to help us out. Currently on roster, we do have a rookie in Cameron Thomas, so we could possibly start the young guy. He has good size out of San Diego State, 22 years old. He has some strength, not a whole lot of speed, and we're not really sure exactly what he is on the outside for us. He has some power moves, has some block shedding. None of that will get better if he's not out there, so potential to start Cameron Thomas. We'll see what free agency holds for us in terms of maybe a backup, maybe a starter. As for currently on roster, we still have Devin Kennard, who could do a job for us for the rest of the season, and then we'll go into free agency after this year. And with him, we have a bit more power moves and block shedding, so we have some possibilities on team already. And I found an interesting player here. It had nothing to do with what we were previously talking about finding an outside linebacker. I looked even at the defensive line, the edge positions. I didn't really find anyone that I thought was intriguing, so I think we will start the young guy. Hernandez, I think, could still end up being cut for picking up an interesting experiment, really, with what I believe would be Derek, I'm not sure, Young here, who is a receiver out of a college I've never heard of. He's 6'2", 224, 23 years old. Now, I am not thinking of him as a receiver. When we look over at the ratings, we see a guy with 91 speed, 93 acceleration. He has decent to solid hands. However, route running is not very good, and he does not have very good release. His agility is an 86 with jumping 88. He has, like I said, some good catching abilities. Now, these are the ratings that I think are intriguing. 83 ball carrier vision, 78 carrying, 82 change of direction with 76 break tackle. He doesn't have a dominant juke move. 74 is okay with okay injury. Stamina, again, not fantastic. But we have been looking for some receiving running backs. I think he's someone who could potentially do a job there for us. So, bringing him in for only $750K, I think it's something we got to try. So, Young is in. Now, as a running back, Young doesn't really improve with overall. Still a 65. Still someone who may not end up making the roster next year, but is someone I think we definitely need to give a shot at to see how well he could do. As we had seen, his running back ratings actually aren't too bad, with good change of direction to start off with, some carrying ability, ball carrier vision. Just need to see what he can do when he gets on the field. The catching ability is there, so hopefully that'll translate well, and he will be wearing number 11. In college, he wore number 1, so figured it was a decent change. Granted, Cardinals 11, that is Fitzgerald. I think actually we'll change that. I don't want anyone wearing Fitz's number. So instead, he'll be rocking number 21. I think that fits a little bit better. And of course, with adding a player means we do need to get rid of a player, and that will end up being Will Hernandez. Only 26 years old. You might argue that we should trade him, but at only 71, 72 without the morale affecting it, I think it would make sense to cut him. Plus, we've already had several other trades this episode. Not completely realistic continually trading people, so Will Hernandez will be released. And before we get into the game, a quick little check-in here with our quarterback coach. Your team has struggled out of the gate so far, and when that happens, a lot of blame is usually placed on the quarterback. Who needs to step up? The team does. It's not just Kyler, although Kyler has had some accuracy issues. The age-old saying is that football is a team game. We win as a team, we lose it as a team, and we take blame as a team. I didn't get to read that last sentence. Maybe you did, but either way, we need to beat the Panthers to get this morale fixed. And I'll quickly take care of the weekly strategy, adjust any roster positions that need to be adjusted in terms of depth chart, and we'll jump into this game against Christian McCaffrey and the Carolina Panthers. In week 4 against the Carolina Panthers, and do let me know if the in-game audio is a bit too loud. I have tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit louder. I felt like there wasn't much really coming through in the videos, so let me know what you think about that, or if you can notice at all. And we are getting closer to the return of D-Hop. Of course, suspended for the first 6 weeks, so a few more games to go, but we are getting closer as Raheem Mostert gets his first carry as a Cardinal, gets a gain of 2. Granted, he won't be getting too many straight runs, will be primarily used as a receiving running back. Look for an open receiver here across the middle. Rondale Moore will get us the first down, gain of 11. And of course, Marquise Brown has been a really good receiver for us in the deep game, which we'll look to try to hook up with that a couple times. Thrown out of his sack there. Flag also down. And that will be a holding on Justin Pugh. I guess in a weird way, technically still take the sack yardage, but without actually being sacked. So we'll see how that goes. Raheem Mostert has the step, does get the catch. No, broken up. Great job there by number 4 to punch that out. That was about to be a huge gain, but unfortunately he cannot hold on to it. Gonna need to try to scramble around here. Throw this one out. Will bring up 3rd and 20. So far, I would say the changes to the offensive line not seeming as effective here, but we do see Derek Young in at running back for his first play at that position. We do have Marquise Brown breaking open. Safety comes over, picked off by Chin, I believe. Jeremy Chin. Yeah, that's who it is. Solid return to the 40, passes midfield. And maybe if we threw that ball a little bit earlier, it would have been something. But Jeremy Chin makes a great play there at safety, tracks all the way back over, and gets the INT. And in some crazy news, Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, don't know why that was so weird to say, the quarterback here for the Panthers. So neither Donald nor Baker, the quarterback here, which is interesting. And we also get to see our first look at some of our new defensive players as Hurts goes to scramble. We take an awful angle. Collins will bring him down at the 25 after a gain of 16. As for our changes on the defense, Adoree Jackson, one of the new outside corners. And then in at linebacker on the outside is Cameron. However, he will only be in the base packages. While in nickel, we will have Kennard come in as he's the best next pass rusher available. And for the interior, our defensive ends are actually going to come in and do the job, as there's a fumble picked up by Christian McCaffrey. But as I was trying to say, our defensive tackles are out. They will not come out in the nickel. Instead, our ends will move down to DT. Gardick off the edge, and he's getting yet another sack. Last week, he had 5 or 6 in a losing effort. Unfortunately, today already has 1 in his first possession out there. And that will bring out the field goal unit, kicking from about the 33, would make it a 43-yarder. That one is up and headed right in between the uprights. Panthers take an early lead, getting a field goal off the INT. And on our first play here, we'll go with a bit of RPO. Maybe hand the ball off, maybe swing it out to Young. We'll see how the Panthers defend, and it will be a quick pass out to Young. and Marquise Brown not able to hold the block long enough. Gain of 3. And on 2nd and 7, we'll come out 2 tight ends to the left, 2 receivers to the right-hand side. Going to run a little bit of some levels play here. We have our tight end Ertz open, first down to the 40-yard line. And I feel like Mostert would be fairly comfortable with this offense, being a bit more pass-heavy, a little bit more spread wide. We did have a couple guys breaking open there, but unfortunately I rolled to the opposite direction, so safe plays to throw that away. On 2nd and 10, we'll come out with the slants. But yeah, I feel like Mostert would be pretty comfortable here. Similar offense, just a little bit more pass-heavy compared to a spread run effect that we had with San Francisco. And Rondale Moore holds on to that one. We've seen an improvement from him in terms of holding on to some quote-unquote tough catches, more of which he's just getting hit closer to when he gets the ball, which is going to happen a lot in the NFL. So it's nice to see that improvement so far this season. And why not, being fairly close here, let's try to set up a screen pass here to Mostert. See if he could get away from anyone and just let that one hit the deck. You don't need to roll to try to catch that to lose 5 yards. Just let it hit the turf. But granted, maybe shouldn't run too many screen passes when the offensive line for us already has a hard time trying to get some blocks. Going to dump this one out to Mostert, who will turn on the Jets, get back most of the lost yardage. 3rd and 11. And on 3rd and 11, make a quick adjustment here to the play call. Send Ertz a little bit deeper. Try to see if maybe we could get Brown, who has a quick first step. Does he have the separation? Yes, he does. Plus 6 points. Great pass there from Kyler Murray. We got the edge on the release, and that was about it. With the speed of Marquise Brown, it's going to have a hard time catching back up. J.C. Horn not able to do so there. Now our defense will come out here in their base package, so we'll see Cameron Thomas out here for the first time, see how well he could do. Christian McCaffrey run right down the middle, gain of a 1st down. Stopped by Adoree Jackson, who's wearing number 12 for us. He's worn quite a few different numbers in his career. Wore number 2 at USC, 25 with the Titans, and then 22 with the Giants. So we went with another 2, and not a great angle there taken from Collins. If he undercut the route, could have been a pick. Instead, he goes over the top, and that is another 1st down here for the Panthers as they come out with a heavy eye. Run to the weak side. Simmons gets a tackle, yes, for a loss of 1. And we've seen Simmons this year already get a boost up to superstar dev, so some solid promise from our young interior linebackers, and that one broken up by Simmons. On 3rd and 11, they'll spread wide, 3 to the left, 1 to the right-hand side. We'll run a little bit of some man coverage here, help us try to make sure we have one guy on everyone, and not going to get the pass breakup, but pass not thrown hard enough. Receiver had to come back for it, and Murphy will get the stop prior to the 1st down yardage gain, but does look like they're going for it. But we won't see that this quarter. End of the 1st. We have a slight lead, 7-3. Had the interception first drive, but answered back with a touchdown on our 2nd. And I guess during that break, they decided go ahead and punt the ball away. Hecker will do so, and that one will go out of bounds, but close to our own end zone. We'll start at the 6. And starting at the 6, man, they read me so well. We'll go instead, I was going to go with the jet sweep, but we'll change it with a safety down, go with a bit of RPO, and we'll hand this one off to Mostert, who has some room to run. Gets us all the way down to the 20. That is the speed that we've been lacking at that running back position. And now gives us a little bit more room to breathe, so we could try to air out this offense a little bit here. Run what we're used to. Ertz will get the drag route for a solid gain of 6. From what I've seen so far from this Cardinals playbook, it's a lot of levels with one guy set to kind of stretch the field. Isabella, one-hand snag. There is also a flag down. Pass interference, but we already got the snag. We'll accept it just to get the extra couple of yards. But great flash of hands there from Andy Isabella. Is in a contract year, and he's, at least for now, hasn't shown too much desire to come back to the team, but we'll see what it looks like by the end of the year. Great pass there again from Kyler Murray. On the run, we'll find Brown for the first down. And that gets us past midfield, now down to the 45. One-on-one coverage looks like we'll have with Brown, but they do give him a little bit of space. We are going to have Ertz here on the crossing pattern, and Chin, he decides to throw a little flag out there. That one will be easy for us to accept, as we'll come out with the RPO. Yeah, but honestly, Chin probably didn't even have to do that. He probably could have just knocked that one down, but we'll take it. One RPO down the middle, get a gain of 4. And I feel like occasionally we could take a shot deep with Green, but I would rather do it when it's closer to the end zone like this. So it's a little bit more of a possession kind of game, but Brown breaking open across the middle. J.C. Horn struggling with Brown's speed. And we will still see a little bit of Williams in the offense. Obviously, we brought in 2 new running backs. We'll see him a bit more when it's in the ground and pound kind of game, as he has obviously the only real strong trucking left. With us bringing in some more elusive style guys. I would like to keep one power back on roster, but that power back I would like to have be a little bit more of a fullback. And Brown, they say he's in, drags the toes. J.C. Horn giving up his 2nd touchdown. Brown coming all the way across the field. This one could go to booth review. Under pressure, solid throw there from Murray. We know we for sure got 1 feet. Oh yeah, definitely have both feet down. Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the first half. Really seeing a solid start here from our offense. Defense doing pretty well as well, considering the fact that we really have a pretty weak box interior here for us. Adoree Jackson with a nice tackle on the outside keeps Christian McCaffrey contained for a loss of 2. That was awful. Stumbled all the way around that name, and now you know why I say run CMC. But yeah, so far defense doing pretty well, considering we have a much weaker, at least front line for us. We did improve in the secondary, so hopefully we'll see that come through pretty strong. Christian McCaffrey will get hit from the side by Simmons. Brought down pretty quickly after the catch, 3rd and 3. And on 3rd and 3, they'll come out empty set. We will come out with the double A gap. We won't bring the blitz. We will drop out into coverage. Try to sit underneath some of these routes. And it looks like Hurts is going to run for it. Collins in pursuit will get him, but not after the first down is gained. And so far, seeing quite a bit of empty set here from the Panthers. They come out once again on 1st down. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. We'll go to the outside, and Hurts might be running. Collins trying to wait for him to decide. Did not have the speed to get back there, but the defense will make him slide down at the 48, crossing midfield. And one area that I'm already seeing us definitely needing to work on, at least in this game, is containing the quarterback. He's been scrambling quite a bit. But we have done a pretty good job of containing Christian McCaffrey as we hit the 2-minute warning. We're up 14-3. Panthers have possession. And with a 2nd and 7 at the 46, 3 timeouts remain. They definitely have enough time to methodically work the ball downfield rather than trying to push it. But another scramble here from Hurts and another fumble. That was caused by Collins, picked up by Thompson, who gets by the lineman. This looks like it might be a scoop and score. And we are in. Hopefully no review of that hit. Possibly he could have been down from Hurts, but I sure hope not. And no review comes in. That is a forced fumble by Zach Collins. Scoop and score by our free safety Thompson as we make this a 21-3 game. 1 minute 47 seconds left before half. So far, Hurts has fumbled twice today. Only lost one of them, so we'll see how much more scrambling he'll do today as they go the dump off. Christian McCaffrey to the outside and tapped down inbounds. Will continue to have that clock run. They run a bit more hurry up. They go out to their tight end. Simmons knocks it away. Great job. And I haven't seen any Tommy Tremble in this game. I'm pretty sure he plays for the Panthers. I might need to check their injury report, see what's all happening. But a completion here goes to number 10. And they'll go into the hurry-up offense here, trying to drop out of the double A gap, but not able to switch in time. Simmons will just lurk across the middle. Sees a guy breaking open, but oh, they go Christian McCaffrey back completely to the interior. Too many guys. We need to get some pressure a bit more quicker than that. Of course, we've lost our best pass rusher with the trade of J.J. Watt, but it was the right thing to do at this time. Get some the quote-unquote ammo for some future draft picks with the second-round pick, plus Adoree Jackson helps out a much-needed area of our defense. Collins going to try to go in pursuit, but we will get a pass out to their tight end, number 80, with the reception and a timeout called. And following the timeout, they'll come out with an empty set, bunch to the right, 2 to the left-hand side. And they will go with a pass play, quite obviously, but it does look like Hurts is going to scramble. Gardick there to force him out of bounds at the 21. And that speed that we have from Gardick not only has helped us get some sacks, but is definitely helping contain this side of the field from Hurts, and that pressure forces an inaccurate pass. We'll bring up a 4th and 3 as it looks like they... Actually, I'm going to call a timeout. I did not like what we had lined up in with what they lined up in. And on 4th and 3, they'll come out with a weak eye. 2 receivers to the right-hand side. We're going to bring a bit of a blitz out of the 4-4. Simmons in pursuit, dives a bit too early, and that might cost us. No, Christian McCaffrey trips on his own lineman, and we'll get a stop on defense with 32 seconds left before halftime. Starting at the 20. We'll see how well this play works. It's that double reverse. Try to get some of our speed to the outside. Rondale Moore not able to get around Chin. Chin's done a great job on most of his plays today. But we'll just go ahead and nail this one into halftime. Kyler Murray needs a bit of a breather. His icon is feeling it for sure. As we won't have to run a play is what I meant to say. We'll head into half up 21-3. And so far today, the changes we've made seemingly working pretty well. We have a solid lead in the passing and obviously not going to have a whole lot of rushing yards, so that works well for us. Take a quick look around the league. Seahawks division rival against the Detroit Lions, and they edge out a close victory, 31-29. Goff did not have a good game, and Drew Lock did just enough. Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots, close game, 17-7. Patriots have a 10-point lead with about a minute remaining before halftime there. And jumping a little bit closer to our area of the United States, 21-14 Broncos up, so far undefeated on the season with Russell Wilson at quarterback. As for this game, Panthers will be receiving the second half kickoff. Prater will boot this one away, as we'll hopefully be able to put together just as good of a second half as we did with the first half. Granted, the story around this team so far this year is that they have been entirely a first half team and have crumbled in the second half. We'll need to see them tighten the screws here today to write that narrative. Or I guess, should I say, rewrite that narrative. As they Panthers come out here with 2 to that left-hand side, 1 to the right. They do make an audible, making it 2 to either side, sending out their tight end. And Hurts will scramble again. Simmons takes a bad angle and will end up sliding down in front of Budda Baker. And that, I feel like, is what has given the Panthers their most success, is just quote-unquote scramble drills, as now their tight end heads into the running back position. Interesting. And they have some guys breaking open, but Hurts going to run again and will slide down, learning from his lesson from the first half after fumbling twice. And I did check the Panthers injury report, and they do not have Darnold, Baker, or Tommy Tremble on there. Actually, we see Tremble in now, so I guess he's their number 2 tight end in this universe. In Madden 22, he was definitely their starter and played very well against us, but number 80 is doing pretty good as well. And I believe that's Isaiah Thomas. So 2 pretty similar style tight ends here for the Panthers, as they almost get us to jump off sides. They get to the outside, though. Christian McCaffrey has some running room. Budda Baker mistimes the hit, but we will force him out with Thompson. And that was the first really good run by any means so far on the day for Christian McCaffrey. They'll go right back to him. Simmons reads that very well and will get the stop after a gain of 2. And on 2nd and 8, they'll come out with a tight bunch to the right-hand side. One lone receiver spread left. We come out with some cover 2 here to help try to cover all the different angles. Marked down just shy. I mean, that ball basically an eyelash away from being in the end zone. We'll send some blitz down the middle, but perfect blocking for the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey could have done a somersault into the end zone and still no one would have touched him. Panthers get their first touchdown of the day, making this a 21-10 game with a made PAT. And this team could really use a bit of a bye week. Kyler Murray haven't had to play for quite a while since before halftime. He's still struggling with stamina, so we're going to find a wide open Brown to about the 40 mark down at the 39. Brown has really been the #1 receiver for us this year. We'll see how that changes after week 7 when we get D-Hop back. But in the meantime, Brown almost had that one. J.C. Horn, probably his best play of the day so far. So they do come out press coverage. Makes me want to go for a deep shot, but we will go with a run here instead. Mostert not able to get much. Only had an opening for a split second. And that will bring up a 3rd and 9. So we have 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Moved Brown in a little bit closer on this play. And going to need to step up in the pocket, but a great job there by their edge rush, number 98. Can't read what that back of the jersey said, but he did a great job of coming back towards the line. He'll get the sack, loss of 1, maybe 2, and we'll punt this one away. And the Panthers offense will take over at the 25 as they come out with 4 receivers, but just kidding. They're going to make an audible here, making it 2 receivers either side, tight end at the running back position. And they will obviously be passing out of this, or Hurts will scramble. Did a great job there from Allen as he'll get a stop at the line. On 2nd and 10, they'll come back out in a more traditional look here with their actual running back at running back. Try to send the double A-gap blitz. We don't get the outside, but a great stop on the interior. And that's not something I would have imagined us saying much, considering, in fact, we don't really have a very strong interior of our line whatsoever, as they set up a screen pass, and blocking didn't do a great job. They'll get a gain of 8, but on 4th and 2, they should be punting away. And our offense will get the ball starting at the 26, so pretty much just flipped field position with the punt, as we will pass this one, and we'll see what we end up doing. We'll dump this one off. Young will get it, try to get a juke in. Not a whole lot, but second play for him will get a gain of 5. Again, really trying to see what we could get out of Derek Young. Moving him from receiver to running back is an interesting style. We'll see how well it works for us. Mostert will get the edge. 38, close to getting the stop, and Mostert will trip down after breaking the tackle. And that is how we will end the 3rd quarter with possibly our longest rush of the season so far. But both teams will get a quick breather as we head into the 4th. This game, still a close game, 11-point lead for our Cardinals, 21-10. And I swear every time the teams know we'll go with the RPO instead. Wanted to go with the jet sweep, but they read it all too well. Mostert will get forward for a gain of 4. 6 carries, 56 yards, most of which all came on 1 run. And now they'll come out 3 deep. Well, now instead I wish we were going with that jet sweep, but instead we'll switch to the slants. Try to find someone open underneath. Rondale Moore found that space, basically the gap in coverage. Probably ran a cover 2, but I guess they had 3 deep, so that wouldn't quite make sense. Either way, just not a good cover call from the Panthers. And I swear, it's true every time. I go to run that jet sweep, they know. Well, let's go with that RPO again. This time, the option would be, and it's a good thing that ball came out awfully. For a second, it looked like that safety was stepping down for the run, but just as I went to throw it, he dropped back to cover Brown. So it would have been an INT if that pass went through. And Brian Burns will get a sack, 3rd and 20. And we'll come up with our own little design here. I do want to get Mostert on a wheel route. Also have Rondale Moore going towards the back pylon. Possibly go Rondale Moore, see if we get that separation. Ball not able to drop in there. We'll end up kicking the field goal. Kicking from about the 32, so about a 42-yarder. Wind coming back in our face here, but that ball is up and will squeak through as we make this a 2-score lead, 24-10. So far today, the Panthers really have only been able to get some scramble plays with Ertz as a consistent form of gaining yards. For the most part, we've done a pretty good job of stopping run CMC, but he'll get a gain of about 13, 14 there out of the back of the end zone. Wow. And for a new down here, they're actually making audible go under center. We'll slide over here, go with Simmons instead on this play. 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends to the left as they will cross and find Isaiah Thompson, I think is what I said it was earlier. And he'll get them another first down. In crunch time, really. They have 5 minutes to score twice as they'll set up a screen pass, run CMC, as we definitely over pursuit there with Simmons, and run CMC will turn that into another first down to the 40. The Panthers have turned it on as they're just marching down the field, basically every play being a first down. And they'll go with a run out here to the outside. Simmons will go for the legs, and after kind of stumbling off of him, will bring him down after a gain of 1. Coming out back in the shotgun, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Hubbard checks in at running back, and they try to set up the screen pass, but Kiki will get the sackle. Sackle? Wow. That was bad. Kingsley Kiki with his second, maybe third sack of the season. And he is the player that is primarily taking over the role that J.J. Watt was playing for us. So we'll see him as a rush DT and then a bit of edge rush, left end, right end, varying whenever we go to the base package. And Budda Baker, that ball just lofted up right to him. Easy pick and a quick tackle from number 10. And all we need to do is drain the clock. With us being only 6 yards away from the end zone, we'll bring out our power back Williams with open running room, but that quickly gets taken away by big number 95. On 2nd and 4, we will come out with a bit of play action here. Going to roll out, possibly, although it looks like not much is to be gained over there. Just ended up going to scramble here with Kyler, who fumbles. Ball gets knocked out from behind him right when I told him to slide. That is Wilson with the recovery, and the Panthers poised to put some points on the board. Brian Burns came up from behind and just started punching away. A very, very costly mistake there for Kyler Murray, who needs to hang on to it, especially at this point of the game. Christian McCaffrey, open running room with a solid spin. Gets them not a first down, but close, 2nd and inches at the 6. And they'll come out with a heavy I formation, 2 tight ends to the left, 1 lone receiver to the right, and it will be some play action. They will somehow, in all that mess, find their fullback 45 for the first. And that will bring in the 2-minute warning. 14-point game with the Panthers very close to making it a 7. And they will come out in an empty set here. We will make an adjustment to have a safety somewhere, although it's not going to help us. Thomas catches the ball into the end zone. 1-score game. And all we need to do, the same as I said last time, is run out this clock. Need to not make any dumb mistakes here, as we'll get our first pure run with our new running back. We'll get forward for a little bit as a timeout called by the Panthers. Refs mark that as a gain of 3 for Young, as we'll come out, same formation, go with the slant routes, maybe. Brian Burns, get another sack, making it 3rd and long. And on such a long play, not a whole lot you could really do. So we'll try to go with a simple play that will get the clock rolling. Try to get to the outside. No, we had blocking for a second, but not good enough. Panthers will get the ball back with time to tie. And starting at the 46, Panthers only need to go 54 yards to tie this game up, but Gardick making that a bit more yardage, making it 2nd and 17. Try to switch out of the play, but I don't really believe we were able to do at least what I was hoping we would do. Thomas with the catch at about midfield as this clock continues to roll here. Make some quick changes with our play calling. Gardick stuck. Only one deep guy, and he gets the pick. Jackson on his first game with the Cardinals gets a game-saving INT. 2 receivers of theirs in the area, only one guy covering for us, and he made the best play possible. Now all we have to do is kneel out the clock. What a great hero moment for a brand new player to the team with Adoree Jackson getting that INT. And we will take one last kneel down. And we'll move up to 500 on the season. That was a much closer game than what it needed to be at the end, but that's just been synonymous with the season. We've not played great to finish out games. We've given away games late and then not been able to retake them at the very end. Luckily, a bit better for us today. Possibly those changes we made are the reason for that. But we outpassed them by a few yards. We ran well for us. Plus, we had more takeaways than they did. That is key for us. We have to limit our turnovers and make sure we're getting some turnovers. And after the game, we meet up with Kyler, really proud of how we came out and got the job done in that one. Everyone chipped in, and we came away with a nice one. It was definitely a nice one. Need to get a little bit better. Let's keep it up. You're one of the leaders in that locker room. Keep pushing those guys every day, and we'll keep this going all season long. Plus, get a nice boost here with 2,500 experience points for everybody. And with that win, we see us at least get out of the bottom of the NFC West. Now sitting 3rd, the Seahawks also 2-2 on the season. Rams, who did beat us earlier, are 3-1. So once again, they are the team to chase after. Next episode will be against another 3-1 team in the Philadelphia Eagles, who I have no idea who they're going to have at quarterback. We could definitely go ahead and check that. So the Eagles are coming in with a pretty well-built team. They have 3 guys in the 90s and then quite a few in the 80s as well. So a solidly built team. And they have Baker Mayfield. So I guess they traded Baker and Hurts? Interesting. I don't know quite why they would do that, but either way, they end up with an Oklahoma quarterback. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A lot of trades made or had taken place at the beginning, as well as some other shuffling of players around. We brought in an experimental running back to see how well he could do for us. Raheem Mostert also had a really solid first game for us as well. So a lot of really good things happened. We were able to get back in the win column. We'll need to see that continue because we're going to be chasing the Rams, I feel like, for a good chunk of this series at least. Let me know what you guys think of these trades. What other moves you think we might need to make? I definitely think we need to address D-line, outside linebackers whenever it comes to offseason or draft. We'll see how well they look when we get to the scouting special that will be probably a bit closer to the specialized scouting that you have to do week 11. So probably do like week 10 will be a scouting update for you guys. So make sure you stick around by hitting that subscription button below and ticking that bell notification to be notified of when these videos go live. Traditional series posted every Monday and Thursday. And then our state only challenge that I believe we would have just started because as I record this, the first one just went live. So the Ohio only challenge is live. If you're interested in seeing how we build a team strictly out of players from the state of Ohio, meaning Ohio State, Cincinnati, Bowling Green, Toledo, Akron, Ohio, bunch of different schools. Make sure you check that out. It is on the channel. There is a playlist for it as well for when we get multiple videos going up there. That series posted every Wednesday and Saturday. So make sure you stay tuned, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.
How it's supposed to feel.